MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got interesting business. It's called Out of Home Marketplace. And the founder is Lukhanyo Dyosopu. And he's been explaining how the business makes money. And effectively, you get a whole bunch of people with outdoor media that load their stock onto the portal, onto the software, or onto the marketplace. And you have a whole bunch of agencies coming in and look. And they then, do they transact through your portal?
Yes, they do. They negotiate rates. They negotiate the terms of the contract. Technically, I become a digital salesperson.
And then that relationship, so if I'm the individual with the 10 billboards and you the person who wants to put your adverts on, do we ever speak?
Not entirely. There's no voice discussions on the platform. It's basically buying the asset, securing it for a period of time, and then it's just contractual. So not really.
So there's no risk that you and I meet. Okay. And
that was one of the main reasons why we have the system. Because if you look at what was done before, we picked up there was a lot of biasness. And that biasness was basically, killing a lot of the SMMEs. So their market access relied on that element of just, let's just do business. It's been vetted. You need this particular billboard to advertise whatever you want to do. And we basically solved that problem. The conversations, it's known in the industry that there's what they call open day.
Yeah.
But then what happens is that if I was a buyer, I'll only speak to the people that I like. And then it sort of, limits SMEs for coming through.
Do you have competition?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you're anticipating that coming.
It would be good if there was, because I think we have to switch on the entire industry to start using digital platforms. There's been some conversations about it, but no one has actually put something out that actually does what I do.
Okay, and then, in researching this, I came across your relationship with Dentsu, and I couldn't work out what that is.
So Dentsu is one of my favorite agencies because they were the first one who took a chance on me. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but
you can.
Dentsu is basically one of the first customers to use my system.
Okay.
The first one to allocate a specific spend for SMMEs, and the first ones to actually do an actual live booking on the system.
And did they invest in you?
No. They've invested in me by giving me the business, but not as in a slush fund or where they could just give me cash, nothing.
Oh, so you don't work from their offices or anything?
Oh, no, actually, funny enough, I do, because remember, I still need to train the users. So I'm always accessible to them. I'm always there to assist with whatever support that they need. So technically, I am at all these agencies that use my system at least once a week.
Okay. So you spoke about competition coming and just trying to anticipate what would, if I came to copy you, I'm watching the show go, oh, I want to do that. Like, what will you have that I won't have other than first to market?
Well, I think my investment in terms of how I've applied myself into the market.
Yeah.
So I get lived experience. So I already know what's going to happen the next 3 months, what's going to happen, in future. So I'm already predicting and developing the additional features in that line. Okay. So even if you copy my system, I won't cry too much. I'll always try to be at least a good couple of months ahead.
Okay.
We're not talking years ahead because technology is like that.
Yeah.
But it would be good for the industry because we need to get to a point where we're utilizing digital systems. And right now, we only have about 4 or 5 agencies that are using my system, and there's quite a bit. So the question is, why are the other ones waiting?
Yeah. So that's good input. Another next question I'm going to ask, I know the answer, but I'm leading you up a garden path. Okay, and it's a very loaded question. So that's my getting you ready. What market share do you have right now of all that you spoke about? There's 4 using it. What market share do you have here?
So if we look at it from a supplier point of view, there's an estimate. Right? Remember, these things, they vary.
Yeah.
There's an estimate of about 160 suppliers in the space.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've got 4 using you.
No, I'm saying in terms of the media owners, like the people who own billboards.
Yeah.
There's a rough figure of 160 suppliers.
Right.
Right. And then obviously I question that because sometimes people they claim to be suppliers, but they don't actually own the billboard. So they might be selling on behalf of someone.
Okay.
So then that number goes a bit lower, right, in my estimate. So we have 65 plus of that, right? That's nearly half in my estimate, right? So if we had to talk about true suppliers that are actually registered on my platform, I would say I got as close to 50% of that as possible. That's just on a supply point. When it comes from an agency point of view, as I said, we've got 4. Should be 5 in the next couple of weeks, touch wood. And in that space, we probably have a recognized amount of maybe about 20 or less agencies. Maybe the bigger multinationals are sitting around about 7 to 12. And I've got 3 of those multinationals.
Okay. You were talking about going into new markets. Why do you want to go into a new market? What's your reasoning? What's your thinking?
I think I get into a place where, as I said, the journey that I've been in, there's no longer just about the business capitalism and so on. I think there's a great need to create spaces for SMEs to enter this particular space. So my assumption, and I think I've got it in good authority to assume that, is that the same issues that we're experiencing here in South Africa, I assume that they're experiencing it over in Africa also, which is your SADC regions, and over in the Nigerian regions. So I think my solution could basically tap into those markets and obviously change lives.
One last question. What percentage of your time do you spend selling in a month? Guesstimate.
Every day. So
all day.
I move in between all the agencies. And their access to me in order to get support, to maybe ask questions on how the system works, is basically selling in my view. So every day is a sales day for me.
Yeah, but what percentage of the day? Because you spoke about coding as well, the technical side.
So your working hours, I'll spend at least like 8 hours at an agency, and then in the evenings I'll
do the other stuff. Okay, great answer. Lukhanyo, thanks. I've got enough to give you some feedback. We're going to take a break down. When we're back, I'm going to give Lukhanyo some things to think about. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.